Good morning. Just a short video to show you on how to remove, clean, and reassemble a card reader on a Hyosung NH1800. First of all, you're going to want to power off the machine, get your Phillips screwdriver, and remove the connector. Don't pull on the wires. You want to grab a firm grip on the connector itself and pull on it all at the same time. You don't want to rip the wires out of the connector. Now you may or may not have a metal shield that is over the card reader. In the case that you have one, you want to start off with the right side and gently lift up a little bit, just like I'm doing right there. And you'll see it's gonna come off automatically. I'll show you a little bit later how it's assembled there, but it just pins on the card reader and holes on the metal shield, just like this. You can see, look, there's pins right there that holds everything into place. There's no screws or anything. I'm speeding up the video to make this quick for you while all having the correct information. So now what you want to do is, look, there's 4 screws that's holding the card reader. You want to make sure that when you're screwing it, don't put a lot of torque. The screw goes into plastic. So I'm removing those 4 screws. They're very obvious. Get a good magnetized Phillips screwdriver. That's the key to this whole process, to make it really simple. Sometimes you have a ground wire just like that. This one has one. So you may or may not have one. In this case I have one, so we're going to have to remove it. There's 2 wires connected to it. Make sure you put the screw aside, because it's not the same kind of screw for the ground. Now what we're going to do is use rubbing alcohol, 70%. We can even use 100%. You can use a jewelry cleaner. There's many options out there. So you want to take your cotton swab, soak your cotton swab with the alcohol. You want to start off with like the outside, the obvious stuff. You know, if you don't remove that, then you're doing a half job. You want to remove it because you don't want like somebody to put in their card and having all that dust go back into the components. You can even use compressed air. Don't use a lot of pressure. A little bit of compressed air. Some people use blow dryers, anything to get the dust off. You're going to soak your Q-tip. You're going to wash this part right there, the mag stripe reader. Then you're going to soak another one. You see those gold pins? Sorry about the camera angle. There's like 8 gold pins. Don't put a lot of pressure on it. You just want to rub the tip of it back and forth and a little bit sideways. Don't apply any pressure, because then the card reader is going to be scrap. There's 1 pin right in the back. You can't hardly see it. So there's 8 pins in sequence, and then there's 1 in the back. You want to do this about 3-4 times. Make sure you get all that crud and dirt off of the pins, because that's what is reading the chip card, right? There's also a mechanism that goes back and forth. I don't know if I showed it. It's not really important anyways. Sorry about the camera angle. I didn't pay attention to that. So once it's cleaned, you want to put it back in. So realign. You'll see that there's a guide, a plastic guide. Oh yeah, you want to crud and dirt left on at the entry, and it's every time somebody puts a card, it's going to push it back in. So make sure everything's clean. So now you can see there's a guide right there. It has to line up. If you don't line it up correctly, you won't be able to properly put in the screws, and it might cross thread. So a good way to tell if you lined it up correctly is your screws are going to be perfectly aligned, and you won't have any the screws that are not aligned. You can see, look, I am putting just enough pressure. Like, I'm screwing in the screw, no torque at all, just to say that it's screwed in. I'm doing a crisscross pattern, so I'm starting from the top left going to the bottom right and just doing crisscross pattern. You need to reassemble your ground. If you had another wire assembled to the ground, make sure you grab that too. Make sure it's nice and tight like this, so everything's back. The metal shield, you don't have to put it, but if you want to put it in, start on the right side of the ATM, sorry, on the left side, so the side that's towards the pin pad. So you align the pins with the holes, and then you just apply gentle pressure, and it's going to snap right into place, just like this. Look, boom, it's done. But you don't really need to put it back in. Now gently put in your connector back. Make sure it's aligned correctly. Push in the connector all the way, and then you're done. Make sure you power on the ATM, and that's it. Have a great day.